Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kabim Kabinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinmannudibhissi dasadanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Nidalambaya Tejase. Om Yasyatmabhudasya Guraprasadat Aham Vimuktasmi Samsara Bandhat Sarvopadeshtu Shivanandamurte Mrudvagriyukmam Pranadosmi Nityam Dayasindhum Dinabandhum Shastrarthabodhanapatum Maskarindra Varam Naumi Sri Chidananda Sadgurum. Om Praninam Dukkha Hartaru Jnanado Bhavana Muktaye Sivananda Chidanando Ashraye Guru Sattamu. Om. My humble pranams to all of you. So, at the outset, I would like to say that I am not going to speak anything very serious. Yeah? And nothing is original. So, when Swamiji, Atmaswarupananda Swamiji requested me to participate in this retreat and to share my thoughts on this theme, then when he requested me, I said yes. And then I found myself under two predicaments. I was embarrassed. I do not know. I was put in a very difficult situation. Every time he used to ask me only speak on one time. This time he told me to speak today and tomorrow on the same subject. That is little difficult for me because as traditional speakers, we never come prepared for any talk. Whenever I go to universities, they give me a topic to speak. I said, yes, you will speak on that topic. Then they will ask me, can you give a write-up on that or a synopsis on that? That we cannot do because we don't go there as a professor to talk, give a talk. Yesterday Mataji was mentioning the impersonal speaks to the impersonal. What does it mean actually? The impersonal means it is not something thought out actually. When I come and sit here and on to speak to you, somehow or other, something in me takes stock of the situation. All right, this should be the talk I should deliver. Swami Padmanabhanandaji Maharaj, they comes here and then they sit, and then whatever they comes in their mind they speak, whatever that comes up, whatever that is prompted that they speak. Maybe the topic may be there, whatever they will speak something and connect it to the topic. Anything can be connected to any topic. In spirituality, there is no such a thing as topic. Whatever you say, I will connect it to that. I will say whatever I want to say and then bring a beautiful link into that. So we take the situation of that and then conclude it. And tomorrow when I come in next day, then the same situation is there. That's not a different situation. So what to speak, I do not know tomorrow. So if I am absent tomorrow, the fault is with him, not with me. So that is because we speak. So what is that prompts me actually? It is not something thought. Although the informations are there, there is some resources are there, but those resources are, the potentials of that resources are unlimited. Sometimes, this one wave comes, that's all it's gone, then another wave. Like that, there's a prompting from within. That is what we speak to people actually. So that is an embarrassment one. The second embarrassment is little more complicated. This time, normally he gives me the talk, this is the topic, theme you speak on that. Okay, I say. This time he gave me a list of all the themes that were dealt with in the last 10 years. I do not know why he gave it to me. The first one was 2001, come together in unity, there is strength. The second was spirituality means change. The third was arise awake, true spirituality is alive. And the fourth one, 2000, was spirituality means new possibilities. Then the necessity and power of faith. Then living an authentic spiritual life. Then spirituality alone gives true meaning to life. Then in 2008, again spirituality in these times. Then the power and usefulness of integral yoga. And then is living divine life really possible today? And this year, true spirituality means God and God alone. I have spoken on the 2002, spirituality means change. And then later on, then we have again spirituality in these times. And then now true spirituality means God and God alone. So spirituality means a change, everyone has spoken. And now true spirituality means God and God alone. Then God and God alone means change. Spirituality means change. Spirituality means God. So God is equal to change. If A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. Mathematics, simple mathematics. So you want me to speak like that? And all these things, these fellows record and keep it and make it available and give it free to you. And someone asked, Swamiji, that day you spoke like this, here is the record. And today you speak like this, there is contradiction in your speak. Then how to answer this? That was the second embarrassment. Okay? Now anyway, that it is my fate that I have to speak on this. So let us now take today's theme. If I will not be available to you for the question answer session, so I will escape that. So now we will take this one. True spirituality means God and God alone. Here we have got 4 words. True, 4 or 5 words. True spirituality means God, and God alone we will take it as one. 5 terms are there. All these terms are abstract terms. Abstract terms. And when you look into spirituality, spirit, what do you mean by spirit? Spirit means something non-physical, which is not physical. All these, whatever available here, are physical substances. Spirit means something non-physical entity in this physical body. And this physical body, it is believed or it is postulated by philosophers. There is a non-physical entity in this physical system. So that is spirit. We call it as soul or any other word you use. So in order to explain that word, spirituality means, if you want to explain that word, whenever he explains something, this we have to explain. So something unknown we are going to explain. And that should be explained through something known. If a person has not seen a goat, have you seen a sheep? It is in that family, it is like that, we can say. An animal, you see, this like a quadruped like that. So a thing which is unknown is usually explained by giving example, by citing things which are known. And here they have chosen a thing, God, which is also equally unknown, in fact much more difficult to understand. Am I right? My embarrassment is very correct. If you are not embarrassed after hearing all these lectures, then I wonder. See, how come that you can take it as means this, a thing which is unknown to us? An unknown thing is being compared to an unknown thing. And again, still more complicated, God alone. As if God was something also was there. God alone is there, God plus something is also there, and God alone is there. It is not amenable to logic actually. Am I right actually? I want you to think about it. You hear all these talks and wonderful talks and go away. And where do the speakers, have they justified their talk? And are we justifying ourselves? What does it really mean? So to understand these topics, see, we are going to something, we are dealing with subjects which are not physical, which are not a common phenomena. Something abstract you are trying to understand. How come that the gross can help you to understand the abstract? And when we speak about spirituality, when we speak about God, we say that it passeth all understanding actually. The Sanskrit quotation is there, yato vacho nivartante, where words cannot reach. The mind cannot conceive. You say the mind cannot conceive, then how come the mind you can understand it? If words cannot describe something, then why all these scriptures? Why all these words? Normally when we speak, the subject we connect with something linked to the things. Swamiji speaks, afterwards I speak means, I take up from something he has given, he has spoken, and develop on that. Usually we do like that. Krishna Swamiji will do like that. Chidan Swamiji, if he happens to be second speaker, he will connect to this. So we are taking a subject which is not explainable, which is inexplicable, which passeth all words, which is beyond the concept of the mind and the intellect. So a subject which is not amenable to words, a subject which cannot be described, the indescribable has to be described with words. There is a statement in the Vedas which says, the power of speech, the power of word is to bring within the boundaries the unbounded. The power of word is to bring to bind the boundless, to bring within boundaries the unbounded, to explain that which is inexplicable. And when we observed the Christmas celebration, and there were Bible readings by Swamiji, and the first one that was read out was the Gospel from St. John. If I remember correct, it reads like that. In the beginning there was Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Am I right? You all heard it. What does it mean? In the beginning there was Word. And then it is said, the Word was with God. I told you not to be very serious. All of you are sitting very seriously. Now I will tell you something very important. When I heard this, I remembered one incident in our village. Two fellows quarreled with each other in a theatre, and they were reported. The police, they reported the matter to the police. The police got hold of the two fellows and then asked, did you quarrel there? Yes, yes. Were you fighting? Yes, yes. Then, who bet first? One fellow asked, who bet first? That fellow said, I bet first. Acha? Then the other fellow said, yes, he bet first. True. But before that, I bet him. He bet me first, but before that, I bet him. And this statement is like that. In the beginning, there was Word, and the Word was with God. That must be, God must be there to have the Word with him. What do you understand by that statement? In the beginning there was Word, and the Word was with God. That means God must be first there. Otherwise he cannot have with him. I cannot have this glass. If I am not here, I cannot have this glass. What does it mean? I bet him first. He bet me first, but before that I bet him. Like that actually. What is this word actually? A similar statement I find in the Vedas. See, we have so many words here in different, multiple languages, millions of languages, tribal languages, fine languages. And on the Christmas day, Christmas celebration day, this Makiko was singing and Dr. Devaraj was playing that in the harmonium. And he doesn't know Japanese language. She was singing something in Japanese language. How was it possible? for him to play that. She was singing something, the lyrics, the words in that song we don't understand. A Frenchman, a French violinist can play for a Telugu song which is sung in the Carnatic raga in South India. How is it possible? So he may not be knowing the language. The words are reduced to certain swaras, certain, what do you call that swara? Notes. So there are 7 notes, and according to our Southern music, there are 12 notes. And later on, those 7 or 12 notes, they are reduced to a single note. That is called ah. If there is there are 7, in Indian classics there are 7 notes called sa, re, ga, ma, ah. That sa, re, the different sounds are reduced to one bass sound called ah. They call it as akaro vai sarva vak. One sound, ah, is the bass sound without which there is no word here. Whether you speak Japanese or Spanish or English or Sanskrit, to speak, one has to open the mouth. When you open the mouth, ah will come. It can be alpha, it can be ah. Maybe they call it as alpha, and south they call it as akara, ah, ah. So all these sounds are derivation from this ah only, because without opening the mouth, you cannot speak. Okay? You cannot speak. It is humming only. So you have to open the mouth. So, ah. And you see, we were all born. At one point of time, we were born. Some time ago, maybe some 70 years before, some are 50 years. And when a lady is in labor pains and in the labor room, and our Devaraj and other people will be around, and with anxiety they are looking what is happening here. And the relatives of that lady will be standing out very tense. What is going to happen? She is under labor pain, we will give the report. They look. And all are very tense. And at one point of time, all the tensions are released. Do you know it is when? When the baby is born. When the baby is born, what will happen? Wah! Wah, 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 wah. So all people started laughing actually. So when someone cries, we laugh. That is the only occasion when someone weeps, all others will laugh. In all other occasions, when someone weeps, we feel sorry. We don't like the look at the contours of the face muscles at that time. But when the child cries, we are very happy to see the contours of the face muscles, and we become very happy. So it is an imagery actually. The word comes. The word means the sound comes. I made a imagery of that. And this sound, if it doesn't come, what happens, you see? If a child did not cry, what will happen? We begin to cry. So it is a manifestation. The sound implies that something pulsating is there. Life is there. Or the physical manifestation or the supra-physical existence there. The moment the sound comes, we understand, oh, then the supra-physical is there. Otherwise the physical is there. And now we analyze that sound. We speak actually. We speak now. And behind this speech, before this, the word, the sound manifests, what was there? What brings out that sound? If I am able to speak to you now, if I am producing words, what is there behind these words? I am presenting to you a subject very cogently. Each word connected to the previous and to the next, giving you some sense, what is that behind that? In the Sanskrit, we call it as Vaikari. This sound is called Vaikari. Vaikari, Vani. Vani means sound. This is a manifestation. This is an effect. This is an expression. And behind this expression, what is there? So, this sound, although it is not a totally physical substance, a gross substance like the glass here, still it is conceivable, we can hear. It is audible, we can hear, we can understand, we can distinguish between one sound and the other sound. Although it is not totally a physical substance, it is something which is tangible to us. And we know from where it comes, who is speaking. But behind this, what is that? Behind this, they call it as the thought. So what I think, I speak. I cannot think something and speak to you like that. Continuously I am thinking about something, my office worries, and then I cannot speak. I throw everything there and come here. So this thought, what I want to speak, somehow those thoughts are arranged in my mind. Those thoughts are arranged or get arranged automatically. And those thoughts explodes into speech. Thoughts become the speech. Everyone, whether it is me or you, are you coming? No, I am not coming. When you say, the thought only comes as. So the thought explodes into speech. So behind the thought, what was there? So they go on analyzing this. So Vaikari is Vani, this sound is, this expressions, what I speak now. These words, behind that there is a thought. So we call it as Madhyama. And the ancients called it as Madhyama. Just the preceding state of the thought, of the word is thought, we call it as, they call it as Pashyanti, Madhyama. Before the thought was there. Before the thought, what was there? When I communicate it to you, my thoughts I communicate. When you understand what I speak, you don't understand this in English. I speak to you in English, but your understanding has no language. Your understanding is not, you are not understanding this in Spanish language, not in English language, not in Sanskrit language. Understanding is something, it is beyond all languages. The understanding is beyond all words. That is why sometimes you understand me, sometimes you misunderstand me, sometimes you don't understand at all. So, before this thought, they postulate a stage which is called Pashyanti, a vision. Before that, what was there? Even this thought itself is something which we cannot properly explain. Psychobiological change may be taking place. Every time as you are hearing me, the body chemistry may be undergoing a change. That is why after some time you feel hungry. I pay for what is this? Too much logic this fellow is speaking. That is why now and then I put little humor, otherwise you get bored. So, before the thought, and before that, they call it as the para. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. So, the basic intelligence, the consciousness, the spirit. So when we sit for meditation and when you quieten your mind, you want to still the mind, free from all worries, free from all anxieties. When the people come here and say, oh, Sivananda Ashram is very beautiful, wonderful, so much of peace for us. How come that peace came? The mind is devoid of the earthly worries. Because all is taken care by Swamiji. All the worries you are given to him. He has to go up and down. He comes to me every day. Swamiji, this is the program. I used to think, what is at this age, 80 plus, he is walking here up and down. To make you all comfortable, to make you all free from all anxieties, he has to take up all anxieties. And he passes all these things to me. So, how come that this peace comes? That peace belongs to that para. When the manifestation is absent, it is like a still lake. You throw a stone and there are ripples, there are waves. When nothing is there, then there is a stillness. So when that thought is also not there, then you feel. So comparatively, relatively, there is less amount of thoughts in your mind, anxieties in your mind, worry, disturbing elements in your mind. So you feel there is peace. And when we sit for meditation, we try to eliminate all those things and try to be with ourselves, not with anything. So that you are trying to reach that para during this process of meditation. And having gone that, what was the experience? Someone asks you. You have different experiences in life. You eat some good food and see some entertainment. And those experiences, when you try to explain, how do you explain it? Something which you felt, you underwent, you enjoyed, or you suffered. Whatever be the experience. When you give an expression to that experience, how do you give it? Each one will give different versions to that experience. Each one will speak it differently also. How was the Christmas lunch? Oh, it was wonderful. What is this wonderful? I don't understand. Christmas lunch cannot be wonderful. Oh, Swamiji, I was full. And the another man says, I don't need anything now in the supper, I don't need anything. So these are the different expressions. But none of these expressions explain that experience. No experience can be explained with words. You disagree? I will not be available for question answers. So all these experiences, when you have experiences, each one come out with different expressions. So they say it like that. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanamadvayam brahmedi paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. Vadanti, they speak about that. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam. That supreme reality, that ultimate truth, that experience when everything becomes still, that total peace, that experience, that tattva, that principle, that supreme reality, we call it as the, what word you use? Non-personal, what is that? Impersonal. The impersonal. The impersonal, which is, or that which is supra-physical, which you and I, we are. That principle, which we call it as knowledge, tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam, that knowledge about that itself is knowledge. Knowing that is knowledge, and that itself is knowledge. That they call it as vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. That supreme knowledge, that principle, which is devoid of the second one, which alone is. That supreme, supra-physical existence in you and me and everything here. In the dogs, in the cat, in the tiger and lion, in the ants, in the devil and the man. That supra-physical existence, that principle, people call it as God. Brahmedi paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. That we call it as the great being, the great spirit, the supreme reality, God, Brahman, and in so many multiple words. And realization of that touching that supraphysical existence, being one with that supraphysical existence, get absorbed into that, is the spirituality which we call it as God, Brahman, God alone, God with all things, universal, individual, that is macro, micro, everything is that only. Hari Om Tat Sat.